Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Shudaye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swami Vivekananda. So I would like to discuss with you Swami Vivekananda's message to humanity. People like Swami Vivekananda are called prophets. This means that they were divinely ordained persons. They are endowed with tremendous power and they come to fulfill a divine mission. And Swami Vivekananda's, as we all know, personality was a gigantic one and he contributed in various ways to the enrichment of world culture. And all those who have studied his writings and speeches know that they cover almost all aspects of human life. But the fundamental message, his fundamental message and teaching for all humanity is, like all other great teachers of the world, is that we have to regain our spiritual heritage, become aware of our true nature. And he spent his whole life teaching this ultimate knowledge. That knowledge, knowing which everything becomes known, by knowing which all our problems are solved forever. So in the little time we have, we can discuss the idea which Swami Vivekananda represented in a very brief way. So as a basis of our discussion today, I will take a letter, a very short letter, which Swami Vivekananda had written to Sister Divinity on 7th June 1896. Right at the beginning of this letter, Swami Vivekananda mentions the great ideal which he represents. I quote him, "My ideal, indeed, can be put into a few words, and that is to preach unto mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every movement of life." This is the great idea. So, in this pithy sentence, we can't understand much of what this means. So, let us go into a little detail. What does he say? My ideal is to preach unto mankind their divinity. This means that we are very divine. That is our real nature. This itself is a tremendous statement, an astounding declaration. And this one single teaching is sufficient to transform our lives. If only we really believe it. How can this transform us? This faith in our not being this limited mind and body complex, but in reality being divine. How can this change our life? You see, this can change us because this will completely change our self-image. We all know what is self-image. Self-image is the personal view or mental picture that we have of ourselves. And this self-image is extremely important. Why? Because how we think about ourselves affects how we feel about ourselves, and this in turn affects how we interact with others and the world around us. So positive self-image can boost our physical, mental, social, emotional and spiritual well-being. On the other hand, a negative self-image can decrease our satisfaction and ability to function in many areas of our life. This is one thing. What does Swamiji say next? His idea also is to preach to how to teach people to make this divinity manifest in every movement of our life. This is also a tremendous statement. To manifest this divinity in every movement. What are we manifesting will be governed by our self-image. We can only manifest what we think ourselves to be. It is as simple as that. And what are we manifesting now? Each act of ours, what is it demonstrating now? What do we say ourselves about ourselves when we act from morning to evening? It all demonstrates that we are psychophysical entities. Nearly the whole of our lives are spent in thinking we will do this and that, eat this or that, go here and there, we will compete with this or that person, thinking ourselves to be happy one moment, thinking ourselves to be sad the next moment. And the cause of all this is wrong self-image. We don't know who we really are. And the lower our self-image is, the lower will be our thoughts and activities. If you keep on telling a person, you are bad, you are good for nothing, you are good for nothing, he will start believing that. And once he starts believing that he is good for nothing, his life will be destroyed. Because his self-image has been hurt. What he thinks of himself is so low that he cannot rise any higher. So, the lower our self-image, the down we go. And the reverse is also true. If you want to go upwards, you have to create a good self-image. And that self-image has to be based on truth. It cannot be some fantasy. Like often I had heard of an incident, two incidents in India, There was one movie series, one person used to a child magic word and all, this Harry Potter. So they are showing this, he's riding on a broom and all that. So there have been incidents in India when children, they have jumped on a broom from the 5th or 6th floor and they have hurt themselves. So we are not talking about this kind of hallucination which this imaginary world creates. Our self-image should be based on facts. And fortunately, the fact is that we are something much, much higher than this limited being which we think ourselves to be. What self-image can be higher than this? That we are divinities, we are gods on earth. Can anything be higher than that? Nothing. And that is what the scriptures teach us. That is what Swami Vivekananda and other saints are bringing before our eyes. Now, currently, what is our self-image based upon? When we are acting, talking, thinking, what is the self-image based upon? What notion? It is based upon only one notion, that we are bodies. Pinch me, I squeeze. Take away something from me, I go to the course. Stomach pain, run to the doctor. Why? Because we are bodies, that's all, nothing. If possible, take something from others also to make you happy. Why? We are just bodies. And this wrong conception, Swami Vivekananda says, this wrong conception, wrong self-image, at the root of all evil. I quote Swami Vivekananda, the root of evil is in the illusion that we are bodies. This, if any, is the original sin. The original sin in which we read about in Christianity. So this, thinking ourselves to be bodies only, is the original sin, Swami Vivekananda says. And it is the cause of all the evil in this world. All the things which you see going around us, war in Europe, some other nations planning to take over other nations. What is this based upon? That we are just bodies. We are separate from everybody else. Take what you can. And the strong will conquer and the devil take the hindmost. This is the philosophy. This is the philosophy which will guide us if we have this wrong self-image about ourselves, that we are just the body. So what is the cause of this? That we are suffering from this wrong self-image nobody can deny. But what is the cause of this wrong self-image? The cause is we are mixed up. We are not seeing clearly. What is this mixed up like? Again, we go to Swami Vivekananda for a beautiful explanation. He says, suppose a red flower is near a crystal. Crystal, you know, crystal has no color. Bring anything before that and the crystal will take its color. Bring a red flower, the crystal will appear red. Bring a blue flower, the crystal will appear blue. So he says, suppose a red flower is near the crystal and the crystal takes its color and forgets itself, thinks it is red. Similarly, we have taken another color. We have taken the color of the body and have forgotten what we are. I quote Swami Vivekananda. All the difficulties that follow come from that one reason. All our fears, all our worries, anxieties, troubles, mistakes, weakness, evil are from that one great blunder. Blunder, mind you, that we are bodies. This is the ordinary person. This is what we are. It is the person taking the color of the flower near it. So we are the crystal. And we are taking the color of something which is near us. What is near us? The nearest to us are our minds and bodies. And we are taking their color. But actually, we are no more bodies than the crystal is the red flower. The crystal cannot be a flower. It is impossible. The two are completely separate. Similarly, we are as separate from the body as the crystal from the flower. But we have been laboring under this wrong impression from life after life. Life after life we are laboring, and because seeing our deplorable condition comes this prophet. Comes means not only this prophet but through all ages. Prophets come, Buddhas come, Christs come, Saint Paul's come, Vivekananda's come. They come and taking pity on us, they say. Again I quote Swami Vivekananda. Just see what he says. Oh, if only you knew yourselves. You are souls, you are gods. If ever I feel like blaspheming, it is when I call you a man. A man means a man or a woman. Just see the pity in his voice. He speaks for us. It is someone like who has an infinite treasure, buried under his own home and he's going about begging for food. That is our Christ. So he says, oh, if only you knew yourselves. So this was Swamiji's message, which in USA he pronounced first at the Parliament of Religions held in Chicago, about which we all know. And as I said before, that if we have a firm faith in this, it can revolutionize our life. As it revolutionized the lives of many of those who had the wonderful fortune of listening to the great Swami at the Parliament of Religions. So naturally, even a 100th part of what they felt, we cannot even imagine or convey. But fortunately, we have the reminiscences of those people who were present there, who heard Swami Vivekananda. And they are too numerous to go into detail, but I will just quote one reminiscence of the person who heard Swami Vivekananda deliver this message and the effect which it had upon him. I quote that person. He says he heard Swami Vivekananda, but there was a passage towards the end in which I can still hear the ring of his voice and feel the silence of the crowd, almost as if shocked. The audience could be taken as one in assuming that there had been a fall of man, resulting in a state of original sin. This you all know, this is a belief of Christianity. You know, that man fell because of the original sin, and since Swamiji delivered this in America, so we know that most of the people present there believed in this doctrine. But what is the speaker saying? I hear this emphatic rebuke. Call men sinners. It is a sin to call men sinners. This is what Swami said. Through the silence, I felt something like a gasp running through the hall as the audience waited for the affirmation which must follow this blow. What his following words were, I cannot recall with the same verbal clarity, but they carried the message that in all human beings there is that one divine essence, undivided and eternal. Reality is one, and that one, which is Brahman, constitutes the central being of each one of us. This is the declaration which shook the Parliament of Religions at that time. And this is a timeless declaration. For all of us, not only for those who are present there. Why? Because all of us are laboring under this same misconception. Why cannot we manifest this divine nature? There is only one cause. We don't really believe in it. We don't believe. We hear not once, 100 times, but we again forget. We don't take it seriously. Our lives have not reached the stage. We have not gained sufficient maturity to really imbibe this teaching. We are still busy with the things of the world, which we think to be all important. That is why we lack this faith. Again, I quote Swami Vivekananda. All knowledge is in me, all power purity and all freedom. Why can't I express this knowledge? Because I don't believe it. Let me believe in it, and it must and will come out. Make your children strong from their very childhood. Teach them not weakness, but make them strong, bold, all-conquering, all-suffering, and let them learn of the glory of the soul. That you get in Vedanta alone. Then, there and there alone is the great thought that is going to revolutionize the world and reconcile the knowledge of the material world with religion. This is what Swami says. So, if we can really imbibe this teaching, we will also grasp its tremendous significance. That we are not this limited psychophysical being, not a part of what Swami Vivekananda calls. Please, I request your attention to these words. What is this existence of ours with all our wanted knowledge and wealth and so-called education? What is this existence like? This hideous, chimerical existence where we are kicked out like a football by every wind that blows. Again, I repeat, this hideous, chimerical existence where we are kicked about like a football by every wind that blows. We are susceptible to every little thing. Everything affects us, whether we like it or not. The weather, our surroundings, circumstances, the people whom we meet, what we eat also, what we have, what we don't have, the vagaries of nature. We cannot even surmount one, we cannot be immune. We can surmount, of course, because with our developed intellect, but we cannot be immune to even the smallest of these things. This is our condition. And we are clinging to this. We are clinging to this with all our might. We don't want to let go. How do we know that we are clinging to this? Our attachment for the world and its pleasures show us that we are clinging to this. When we are really aware of the nature of the world, really aware of our miserable state, worldly so-called pleasures will have no more attraction for us. But the very fact that they still attract us shows that this sort of existence, which Swami Vivekananda in another place calls living hell. So this sort of existence we are clinging to. We are inhabiting this limited body and forget that it is bound to be associated with physical and mental pain. Nobody can escape that. It is not possible. If you are identifying yourself with the body, pain has to come. Today or tomorrow. The degree of it may vary. But do we realize that we are struggling for a state in which we will rise above all pain? Anything happens, we find people telling, don't be sorry, everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. This is the greatest lie. Everything can never be alright in this world. Till we suffer from this misconception that we are the bodies. So, losing ourselves in this world because of our misconception is our present state. Completely lost in a labyrinth from which no escape seems possible. All those who have gone to India and who have gone to Lucknow, they know that in Lucknow there is a Bulbulaya. Bulbulaya means If you go inside, you cannot escape. You cannot come out without some guide. I myself have gone and tried. Each turning, each passage, each window looks the same. You are completely going round and round in circles. There is no end in sight. Experiencing the same thing over and over again. And our state is not much different. We are also doing the same thing. Experiencing the same thing. Same enjoyments. Same lifestyle. Eating every day, going to work, coming back, seeing the television, falling asleep. What is the difference? And when we cannot find satisfaction after doing these things once, twice, thrice, how can we find satisfaction even if we do this a million times? This is our condition which Swami points out. We are all optimists. We think nothing will go wrong for us. So many things are happening in this world. Every day we read in the newspapers. Wars, calamities, people are suffering, poverty, disease. But somehow I think we will be safe. That is what Swami Vivekananda says, I quote him. Every child is a born optimist. He dreams golden dreams. In youth, he becomes still more optimistic. It is hard for a young man to believe that there is such a thing as death, there is such a thing as defeat or degradation. But old age comes. It has to come if we live long enough. Old age comes and life is a mass of ruins. Dreams have vanished into the air and a man becomes a pessimist. This is the story of nearly each one of us. All those who completely rely on this world, who don't think of anything beyond, who are completely obsessed with this wrong self-image, can expect nothing more in their life. But there are some who are beyond the ordinary ken of human beings. And these people start analyzing. These people start thinking. What is their thought like? Again, I quote Swami Vivekananda. At least some of us have wondered at some time, what is the goal of life? Is the world the goal of life? Nothing more? Are we to be just what we are? Nothing more? Is man to be a machine that runs smoothly without a hitch anywhere? Are all the sufferings he experiences today all he can have? Doesn't he want anything more? And for these people who have had some sort of awakening, who are tired of this same round of eating, drinking and earning dollars, for this kind of people, these saints and sages come. They will find the answer to their queries in the teachings of not only Swami Vivekananda, but all the prophets of the world. And for them, this comes as a lifesaver. Suppose these people hadn't come. Suppose they hadn't, we don't appreciate what they are giving us. That is the problem. We don't have the maturity. Suppose these people did not come and try to break out this illusion from which we are suffering. So for those people who have started questioning, what would be the way out? Where would they go? They have found out in their heart of hearts that the world cannot give us what we want, what we are searching for, that it can never satisfy us. And suppose the teaching of these prophets were not there, where would these people go? What is the way out? They would not have found the way out. They would have been forced What is the way out there? So here it is. This is the way out. This is the aim of life. This tremendous declaration that we are not simply this mind and bodies which are kicked about every moment by whoever chooses to kick us. We are what Swami Vivekananda calls children of immortal bliss. That bliss has no end. That freedom has no end. That soul has no end. So this declaration can give a new hope, a new strength, a new assurance, much more certain than the world can ever give us. And as a demonstration, I will quote from the reminiscences of an American couple who also had the good fortune of hearing Swami Vivekananda directly. So at that time, the US economy was in a very bad shape. Because of that, people were very, very depressed and they were searching for a way out of these difficulties. So I will quote that lady. Those were very bad times and we were being crushed by inimical circumstances. And when they went and heard Swami Vivekananda, what did this lady say? We felt ourselves lifted up into an atmosphere so rarefied, so vital, so wonderful that we sat spellbound and almost breathless till the end of his talk. And what happened? They had come with drooping spirits, that all worrying what will happen to us, what will happen to our children, what will happen to our future. And what happened when that talk was over? What was the change? Again I quote that lady. When the talk was over, we went out with new courage, new hope, new strength, new faith to meet life's daily vicissitudes. And for months afterwards, we went to hear Swami Vivekananda explain the old religion and gather from this wonderful mind jewels of truth and thoughts of helpfulness and strength. It was that terrible winter of financial disasters when banks failed and stocks went down like broken balloons and businessmen walked through the dark valleys of despair and the whole world seemed topsy-turvy. Sometimes after sleepless nights of worry and anxiety, the man means the husband, the man would go with me to hear the Swami lecture, and then he would come out into the winter gloom and walk down the street smiling and saying, "It is all right, there is nothing to worry about." This was the transformation. And I will go back to my own duties and pleasures with the same uplifted sense of soul and enlarged vision. This is what happens when a person has faith in this tremendous teaching. This is the effect. Life is a struggle for all of us. Nobody can deny that. And we are all prone to despondency sometime or the other. Nothing remains the same here. But when we know, when we have faith, that there is something inside us which is beyond everything, which nothing can touch, nothing can destroy. Can you imagine what kind of a strength will come to a person? That's what the scriptures say, that's what the prophets say. nothing can destroy. Gita says, Nainam Chindranti Shastrani, Nainam Dhanti Pavaka, Nachainam Kedayan Kyapu, Nashu Sheti Malka, Ache Dyoyam Ada Yoyam Ake Dyosho Shevacha, Nitya Sarvagata Sthanu, Acharoyam Sanatana. Nainam Chindranti Shastrani, no weapons can pierce us. Nainam Dhanti Pavaka, fire cannot burn us. Nachainam Kedayan Kyapu, Apa means water. Water cannot wet us. Nashoshayati Maruta, wind cannot dry us. Why? Because the soul is Acche Yoyam Ada Yoyam. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be burned. It cannot undergo decay. So this is what a person gains when he truly imbibes the teaching. And I will again quote one disciple of Swami Vivekananda, who had also the good fortune of staying with the Swami for some time. He writes, whenever my heart gets filled with despondency, I seem to hear Swamiji, his face suffused with bliss, repeating in a sonorous voice the message of hope from the Upanishads. Hear ye children of immortal bliss, even ye that reside in higher spheres. I have found the ancient one, who is beyond all darkness, all delusion. Knowing him alone, you shall be saved from death over and over again. Why are we subject to death? Who dies? What dies? Our bodies die. We don't die. So overcoming death means what? Overcoming death means just getting rid of this misconception that we ever die. We have neither been born nor we can die. And once we have faith in this glorious message of the scriptures, then we start treading on the path, start following the disciplines which is necessary for manifesting the soul within us. Then what happens? Again I will quote Swami Vivekananda. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when this sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. This is the world before us. What is the obstacle? There is no outside obstacle. There is no foreign power. There is no competitor. There is no government which is acting against us. We are acting against ourselves. We have been possessed by this ignorance and we don't want to let go. So the second line which Swami Vivekananda says in the letter to Divinity is, one idea that I see as clear as daylight is that misery is caused by ignorance. Ignorance only and nothing else. Ignorance about what? Ignorance about who we are. We are trying to remedy the whole world, going about giving lectures. This person should do this or that, this government should do this or that, my neighbor should do this or that. And all the while, if someone asks us, who are you, my friend, we won't even be able to give a right answer. And this ignorance, Swamiji says, is the cause of all our troubles. There are 5 pains according to the yoga philosophy. 5 ties which bind us down. What are they? Ignorance first. It is mentioned first. And then it is said, What follows from ignorance? Egotism, attachment, aversion, and clinging to life. All these follow from ignorance. Ignorance is the seed, and there are so many branches. We have planted this seed, and now we are caught in the thorny branches of the tree. Because from that one seed, all these different branches have sprung up. Get rid of ignorance and immediately know your divine nature. That is what Swami Vivekananda says, the nature of the soul is eternal bliss. What can make it sorrowful except ignorance, hallucination, delusion? All the pain of the soul is simply delusion. There is nothing in reality holding us down. Then why can't we get rid of it? Why can't we awaken from this dream in a moment? The reason is we ourselves have strengthened and are strengthening this delusion every moment. The moment we tell ourselves we are this body, the moment we tell ourselves, I want the world, I want the enjoyments of the world, I want money, I want prestige, I want power, I want glory. Whenever we tell this to ourselves, we are tying our rope of ignorance even stronger and stronger and stronger. And because we have told this lie to ourselves so many times, through so many lives, that truth, even when it enters our ears, it cannot enter our hearts. This layer of ignorance has become so tough, so hard to crack. And now we have to go back. Having hypnotized ourselves and suffering through life after life, now we have to de-hypnotize us. Go back to our real nature. That is what Swami Vivekananda and all other prophets tell us. And they almost implore us that please have pity on yourselves. You are not made for these small things. Laughing one day, being sad the next. You are not made for this. Your goal is somewhere much above. There is a story in the Puranas. I will end, although there is much to say, the letter still remains some very important saying of Swami, but time is limited. So there is a story in the Puranas. And once Lord Vishnu had to come down to the earth to kill a demon. What form did he take? He took the form of a pig. It is called Varaha. So he came in the form of pig, wallowing in mud and dirt and all the things. He killed the demon. After he killed it, go back. The gods are calling. Your work is finished. Come back. Why with this filthy body? Filthy surroundings. So Vishnu said, no, I am perfectly fine here. See, I have a wife, I have children, and all this mud to play in. What more do I need for the world? I am so happy and contented. This was the illusion which came over God Himself when He assumed the body and became attracted to this world. So that God thought, my God, this is the state of Vishnu Himself. Now how to call Him back? He doesn't want to come. So there only one way is there. Kill him. Kill his body. When he gets out of what Swami Vivekananda calls, when he gets out of this horrible chimerical existence, then only he will realize that what a folly he was doing by thinking that pig life was everything. So this is a graphic description. This is to teach us. We are also thinking the same thing in another form. So this is all there is to life. But it is not. Fortunately, it is not. Otherwise, there would be nothing to live for. Fortunately, it is not. We are meant for much bigger things. And that reality, since it is a part and parcel of our being, can never be taken away from us. Sooner or later, as the goal of all the rivers in the ocean, sooner or later, each soul is bound to realize his own nature, bound to realize that he can never be destroyed. He is much above all this small, trifling, worldly happiness and misery. So let us pray to all the prophets which have come into this world since the beginning of time, that we may have faith in their teachings. That is the first thing. We may have faith, and then we may have strength to walk